Hello everyone, this is Dr. Shelley Rodrigo. Please feel free to call me Shelley if it makes you comfortable. Please feel to call me Dr. Rodrigo. I just prefer not hey you. Anyway, so this is Shelley. I'm your cruise director, aka instructor for 102 this spring, a late start 102. This video is just to get you situated to the course and how it works, and we'll go from there. So, when you first enter into the course in Canvas, this is what you should see. I'm realizing I have to move due date 2. Oh, you're going to watch me do this. We're moving due date 2 down to module 1. Come on. There we go. Haha. Okay. This is what you should see. The course homepage lists the modules in order. However, whenever you first come into the course, you should check out announcements. If I could make announcements the homepage, I would, but Canvas doesn't allow me to do that. So always check announcements and see if there's a new one. Notice it has a date over here, a time and date stamp, so you can know whether or not you've checked it. Okay, so back to home. So the way this course is designed is that each major deadline is called a due date, and you will click on the page, the due date page, and basically you will work through everything on this page. Notice it's in the form of a list. So due date 1, homework number 1, due date 1, homework number 2, and just work your way down the list. If you are like I am and you receive a lot of pleasure from scratching things out on your list, you may want to print these so you can scratch things out when you're done. Now, we will be doing a lot of work in Canvas. We will also be doing coursework in Google Drive. So hopefully you've noticed already, either down here if you looked at due date 1 or over here on the left if you went to the syllabus, that the course syllabus is not in Canvas, it's in Google Drive. And the reason it's in Google Drive is because that allows you to ask questions on top of the document. You'll get to do the same thing for assignment prompts, and then when you guys draft your own work, you will put drafts in Google Docs. So just FYI, so here's your first crash course in Google Docs. We're in the syllabus now, and say you had a question about how I spell, or a comment about how I spell my name. Notice it's 2 E's. You highlight the text that you want to you have a question on, and then over here on the right, a little bubble pops up with a little speaker icon. You can also go up here to across the bar, and that same icon exists, and it's an add comment, and then you can add your comment. Notice once a comment's there, you have the ability to reply to it, so we can actually have discussions in the document. So I'm going to hit resolve. You all don't care about 2 E's, or you might. Now, let's quickly go and look at, you all have been shared in a folder. It's called Shared English 102 Spring 17. If I click on this, there's a listing of everyone in the class. And this is where you will put work for the class, and I'll give you instructions. So for example, I say Leilani has already posted a folder in here, but for example, I'm going to post a folder. It's called project number 1. And you all will be putting drafts of project number 1 in that folder when you get to that point. But notice the syllabus is here. Also notice though, there's a folder that says readings. You did not have to buy a textbook for this class. You will have readings that are linked to the web. You'll also have readings in PDF form, and they're always in this folder. I do try to link directly to them from the course, but if for some reason you can't get to it, if you just come to the course folder and click on readings. So we'll be doing work here in Drive. Now, let's go back to this course. When you're asked, well, okay. Let's go back to pages, or no, home. And there's that due date number 1. Now, you'll notice, so homework number 4 here, map your work schedule. It asks you to do something, but it says post in your individual discussion board. And you're like, what's that? Over here, there's a link to discussions. And there are all your names. It is not alphabetical order because it shifts based on the most recent activity. The quickest way to find yours is to search. It's Command or Alt F usually. And there's no Shelley in the class, so my name doesn't pop up. But if there's... Okay, so I see an Aaron. Aaron pops up. So that's the quickest way to find your area, your particular discussion board area. But in your discussion board area, you will go in and you will post your work there. So for example, here's Tia's, and she has started posting some of the work already asked for the class. One thing I do want to quickly show you, I think some folks were having trouble with posting images. This little icon here that looks like a little mountain and sun, that's the icon you use to post images. Cancel. Okay. So for a lot of the homework, probably most of the homework, you will be posting in your discussion board area. However, we will have some work that happens out in Google Docs. At this point, I think I'm going to call it. It's over 6 minutes, and that's long for a video. The last thing I want to remind you is if you have questions, please post them in this questions, concerns, and comments discussion board area, and it's always pinned at the top. Because if you have the question, as long as it's not a very specific question about you, like why in my grade book, that obviously email me. But if it's a generic question about how do you do this or this isn't working, please post it here. Because one, as you'll see, sometimes folks can answer it before I did. So again, Cheryl, thanks. Cheryl got in there and answered. And then two, folks... Again, if you have a question, chances they have a question. You'll notice already that there was 2 people who emailed me with questions, and because they were general questions, I actually copied from the email and then pasted it in here and answered here, because if they had questions, chances are others had questions. So if you email me a general question, I will probably do that instead of answering you via email. So that I will end on that. It is always worth reading all the questions, concerns, and comments that come into this area, because you might learn something about what's going on with the course, or if there's a little glitch that people need to work through. Okay, thanks everyone. I look forward to getting to know you, and as always, post questions here if you have them.